You're tuned in to Kiddy Pink Radio, where black media matters. Keep it locked.
My friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet? That's what I don't understand. That's why I'm not famous.
He might have been with a woman for 30 years who got a trash ass box.
What is trash box? I would answer that. What is trash box?
A trash box could be a Lucy, a Lucy Lou. She ain't got no Cobra clutch grip to her shit. It could be that some of y'all can fit bottles up in it. But I don't. Trash box depends on the gentleman.
Do you think she can fit a bottle in there, or do you think it may be you might be lacking? You may not have a big deal. What's up, y'all? It is Wednesday. It is noon o'clock. Shout out to everybody tapping in. For those of you who have will be tapping in later, hey to you too. Oh, I got a bad echo.
Is it on me?
Kinda, sorta.
Okay, hold on. Well, not hold on. Just I'm gonna get it. Hold on a second.
I'm sharing. If you are coming in, please, by all means necessary, would y'all please share for us, help us out. Today
real quick, is this better now?
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay.
I guess maybe I'll just play the video and then we'll go from there. I don't even know how to set this one up, so we're just gonna play the video.
Right.
That you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Ayanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and pop off. I got opinions, but I'm gonna let you pop off. What do you gather from that clip?
Well, I think she's saying some of the same things that some of the more arrogant, or what I would consider the more arrogant podcasters are saying, as far as from the manosphere of the whole side of the subject. I think she is coming from it from that standpoint, and what she said, it's true. But I believe, this is what I believe. I believe that
we on YouTube, Johnny.
It's on both sides. Okay, it's on both sides. I think our standards. We should all have a set of standards, right? We should all have a set of standards, and each individual person are gonna, they're gonna have the certain areas where they want, a little more.
Okay.
or a little less, right? And this is where we talk about with us, on our show, this is where we talk about our compatibility and what we are willing to sacrifice and what we're not willing to sacrifice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I do feel like from the manosphere side of the thing, there are a lot of things, and that's just putting it loosely. There are a lot of things that women see as, or they have as set as that bar that needs to be met for the man that they have chosen. And it gets here's where everything gets a problem starts is when, because see, us as men, we don't know how to, we can reason and we can negotiate and we can do all of that, right? But a lot of us just call it as we see it, right? And so that's where you'll start hearing a lot of us start saying, well, you're delusional, you're not thinking on certain lines and things like that, right? Like they'll start throwing out the statistics. I'm a stickler for that shit too, right? Like, what's the average height of a man in America? But you want your man to be 6'9". What's the average salary of a man in America? But you want your man to make six figures. There's nothing wrong with wanting the most, the most, nothing wrong with wanting your partner to have potential. There's nothing wrong with that. But we are in a society today that everything is push button start right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think on both sides, we don't look at what it takes to build it anymore. We're not looking at what it really takes to build a relationship. We're not really looking at what it takes.
Can we really say that any relationship has ever been built without just going in? We talk about traditional marriage and all that shit all the time. A lot
Right.
of those women didn't have no choice as to who they could and could not marry.
That's correct.
So with that being said, a lot of times, and not just women, men too, they're thrown into situations to where it's already gotta be where you want to be, and then we build from there. And maybe that's where the delusion comes in. Maybe that's where the delusion comes in. And that's because that's kind of touching on what I told you last week. No, week before last, when I was saying, you asked me, why would I let a man know on the first date that I'm dating to get married? Because if we start having sex and stuff, we have to build from there.
Right.
We don't even know we fuck each other. So I think a big problem that a lot of men have, because you said this when we were talking about this topic, is women want a man that can pay bills or, take care of her.
Right.
You said that the money is their security.
Right.
So basically, you basically putting the glue to the whole shit that, nigga, you supposed to be a protector and a provider. If you ain't got no money, ain't shit you can protect or provide.
Right. But money is so passe in saying, in the instance of here today, gone tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? That's how money is. Here today, gone tomorrow. You can do whatever you can possibly do to build up whatever you believe is going to be the wealth that you need, generational wealth, or whatever the case may be. But circumstance may leave you broke.
I just want to say, when Anthony Hamilton told that girl, we ain't got to worry about groceries, we can get food with bitch your life. Love is not gonna make my stomach full.
I have always said that.
Without money, we can't have no relationship. We can't get married without no money. So that's where I'm always confused as to why men have an issue with women who want a man with money.
I don't think it's that men have an issue with women wanting a man with money.
What's the issue?
I think the issue is that men are saying, hey, in this society that we live in, on average, the tops of all of us, whether it's male or female, on average, we're making about to $45,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think what men are trying to lay out is that some of the standards that are laid out are just completely unreasonable. I'll never be above 6 feet tall. Well, I'm 6 foot, but genetically, some of us are never going to hit 6 feet, and they're never going to hit above 6 feet tall. Some of us are, tradesmen. Some of us are tradesmen, and starting off as journeymen. Welders, plumbers, whatever. You could be a coder, somebody that's coding, and you just now starting out. Yeah, we all want it. We're striving to get to a certain point. And I think this is what all of us are wanting, is to get to a point where we don't have to look at things and say, damn, how much does that cost? We don't want to have to worry about, especially women. Women don't want to have to worry about that shit. If we need it, we should be able to go get it. And that's how women are raised, because hey, this is real. I know, being a father of 3 daughters, shit. I know, I probably, and I don't mean no harm in saying this, because when you're a man and you got,
You chopping up.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
take this time and say shout out to my gifted family. I don't know how many of y'all know, but I'm a part of a families outside of my original family. I got my co-founder in the building. Thank y'all. Thank you for tuning in, co-founder. Robert Rollo, when money is the main focus over the man himself, it's a problem. Let me ask you this. And some of y'all in the comments, y'all can answer this. Men, what do y'all want from y'all women? What do you want from your woman, Profile? In order for you to get down on one knee and ask a female to marry you, what do you want from her?
Reciprocity.
No, I don't want to hear that. You say that all the time. I want you to tell me, detail it. Detail it. What are your expectations from your woman? Detail it.
That's what I'm telling you, Kiddy. That's me. That's me. When you're asking that question, most men are going to go into that, what the Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fits, and all that shit. Everyone prim and proper and all this other fucking shit. No, not 4'5". You know what I want? I'm being honest when I tell you this. I want the golden fucking rule. I want reciprocity. I want, if you
so you don't want no coochie. You don't want no coochie. You don't want her to cook your meals. You don't want her to nurture you.
Hey,
you don't want none of that.
Hold on now, Kiddy. Now, no, when I'm in a relationship, when I say reciprocity, right? And we're talking about this, when I'm thinking, when you say a relationship and you bring up those little aspects like cooking, cleaning, sex, shit like that, that's all inclusive in the relationship. Okay? We're talking about
that. I know a lot of married bitches that do not cook, they do not fuck, they do not suck. I know a whole bunch of them.
But you may know a bunch of them, but they do something to provide for that family. And I'm probably, and I'm going to say it's probably true. Them same ones that ain't sucking, fucking, or can't cook or do whatever, they're doing something to keep that man on their arm for the time being that they keeping the man on their arm. But if they ain't doing all of that and they staying and they are able to stay around, like I know, what's the likelihood of a gentleman not having another woman who is doing these things?
Most definitely.
Right. So,
devil's advocate, Rollo said he wants respect, support, and understanding. Those are good. He did freeze up. Y'all talking about he didn't freeze. I know what I'm talking about over here. I'm producing. But thank y'all. Gifted Ali said he wants a Michelle to his Obama, a Betty to his Malcolm. This nigga. He wants a Coretta to his Martin.
And what he's talking about there is the same. I mean, these women that he's speaking of are they exemplify reciprocity.
Mm.
Okay, and we know this to be true because even Michelle checked the shit out of Obama when he first got in the office, and they was on the Walter show, and he said, you know, I every man, you know, I'll be in the kitchen washing dishes, and Michelle said, you don't ever wash dishes. You know what I'm saying? And I think in that vein, that's where I'm talking about. Like that's reciprocity there. Small
Mm.
thing, but for her to jump out there and say, "You don't ever wash dishes," right? That shouldn't be something that she should ever be able to say.
Right. Let's get off into the comments because they is drowning me. They really like this topic, obviously. D
Mhm.
Star said men don't know what they want. When you give them what they want, they go looking for something else. And I totally agree with him because that was a point that I was going to bring up later on as we got deeper off into this conversation. A lot of the time, women who are giving men everything that they want, they still go outside and look for different things. A majority of the men that are trying to shoot they shot at me are part of the left hand club. I bullshit you not. Where
Well,
you go, 45?
I'm right here. I had to adjust some stuff, but yeah, no, well, thank
Sex
you,
is
gifted
last on
Ali.
my list.
Thank you,
Sex
gifted
and
Ali.
food is simple shit. I need a higher level woman. I'm not saying don't get it twisted. I'm not just putting it down to that's all, you know what I'm saying, a man won't. But a lot of times men pretty much that's all it do take sometimes for y'all.
A
Honestly, for
lot of
some of
time,
y'all, not all y'all, but some of y'all, that's good enough for you.
right? But when
Judah
we're talking,
said, okay, go
when we're
ahead.
when we're talking about relationships and when we're talking about relationships, we're talking about day in, day out, sun up, sun down, right? There's so many things that can happen in a day, but when we talking about like the simple shit, like every day, I'm not expecting my woman to cook because there's gonna be days that I call her up, hey babe, I'm on my way home, gonna pick us up something to eat. What you want to eat?
Mhm.
Or hey babe, I left some stuff out. Don't touch it because I'm coming home to cook it. Barbecue, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, in that vein too, there's a lot of responsibilities that us as men we just have to have on our own. And I believe that women have their own line of responsibilities in the relationship as well,
Mhm.
right? And when we're talking about men and women in that vein, right? Like I think and I don't care what any of the, you know, and believe me, men who are watching, I respect each and every one of y'all, but I really believe that everything that you guys are laying out are always going to revolve around the same thing. That's why 'cause I just simplify everything, and it always revolves around the same thing. It's reciprocity. Now, when I say that, there are going to be some things that a man can provide in the relationship that the woman could never provide, right?
Mhm.
But the nurturing and uh the armchair psychiatrist that you need every now and then, because as a man, we need it from
Mhm.
time to time. If we don't have nothing else but to just have that ear to
I
listen when
I
I'm
think that should be a requirement when it and I'm speaking to ladies, like be open to listen to your man. If he can't talk to you, that nigga gonna go crazy. If he
he's
if he
gonna go
just
crazy.
unload on you and you know what I'm saying, just and a lot of times these men don't be wanting you to tell you, well, baby, you need to do this and baby, you need to do that. They
They
just
just
need
need the
you
ear.
to listen.
They just need the ear.
They just need you to listen. That's it. I want to add that in there. Gifted Ali says, I don't care about none of that. If you can't think on a large spectrum, be open minded and not stuck in religion, then I will marry you. Thank you, Max Reno. We got him working on the outside. Shout out to my street team. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button and the bell notification so that you know when we are going live. Once again, Gifted said, I'm attracted to the brain only. Rolo said, must be a younger dude, a grown man knows what he wants. You say that, Rolo, and maybe you're just speaking for yourself. I know
Yeah.
a whole bunch of niggas that do not know what the fuck they want.
And gentlemen, when we're speaking here, you know what I'm saying? I try to do this all the time. Y'all know that I try to do this. I want y'all to try to, because what I'm seeing here right now is the same thing that I tell Kiddy about all the time. Do not individualize this. We're talking about us all. Now, your personal preference, Mr. Ali, you're right. You want somebody, hey, you want to be mentally stimulated, and that's what you need. You think about the brain first and brain only. I'm the type too, when I'm talking to a chick, and I tell people this all the time, I raise my son on this principle. Make sure when you are talking to a female, you know what I'm saying, that you are first respecting her mind as a human being, right? You are respecting her mind as a human being, and it at all cost, no matter how pretty, fine, whatever it is you think she is, do your absolute best. Because I know it's going to be on the forefront of your mind, but do your absolute best to make the physicality of the relationship, meaning sex, the furthest thing from your mind when you are dealing with her. Because when we're talking about a relationship, we're dealing with somebody. Again, this is a everyday process. It's a process. And y'all know it when you wake up in the morning. You don't always feel the same every day. It's not always going to be peaches and cream. Sometimes she needs to be the bolts that's holding your wheel together. And sometimes you need to be the fucking tire to stop, you know, because we all know the brakes ain't what's stopping the car. You know, I'm giving these scenarios and shit out there because I'm trying to get us as men, Rolo, Ali, Johnny, Judah, Max, everybody who's in here paying attention. Let's think about it on a bigger scale, on what we all would need and what we all need from our women as a whole. Because I'm with you, Ali. We need brains, and I'm with you, Johnny, Judah. We need fat asses too. Okay. But as a whole, when we're talking about relationships and on what we really need from each other, women want to feel protected. We know this. And this ain't coming from no simp standpoint. It's just, this is, you can look up relationships or look up why do men hate women or why do women hate men. These are fucking subjects that we have today that just blows my fucking mind, because everything's not going to be perfect, you know. I mean, even on my own, you know what I'm saying? I was once married, and I go back and I think about things and I'm like, damn, man, I wish I could have done this a little bit different, or maybe I should have approached this a little bit differently, or anything like that. I mean, but these are the thoughts, and these are the things that happen after the breakup, right? But during the breakup, well, I don't think a lot of men, sometimes a lot of us, our arrogance shows it that, hey, I'm the man of the house. This shit needs to go the way the fuck I need it to go. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not taking that away from you, because men need their home to operate the way each individual man needs to have his home operated. But when we
they done cut off the lights, the house fire down the street. I guess it started back up, so they done cut my lights off. But I'm gonna try to. Do I got a good signal?
Yeah, you sound good. You're fine.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry.
D Star says men have to respect women first, because from what I see, they don't. Okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
But
Ooh.
my mother would tell you that women need to respect men.
Most definitely. Most
And
definitely. It
respect,
has to be
let,
like you were speaking about reciprocal.
right. It needs to be reciprocated, right? But let's get on this too. Respect when we are out here dealing with this world, especially as men. I was raised on this principle. Don't nobody have to respect you. They ain't got to respect you
Yes,
at all.
sir.
But what they will not do is disrespect you.
Right.
What they cannot do, what you cannot allow, is disrespect. And that's what I see. It's not that we don't have respect for women. I think we all, men and women, start out from the disrespectful standpoints of shit.
Right.
This man needs to have this. He ain't got this. He ain't shit. This woman needs to be this way. If she ain't doing this, she ain't shit. Man, come on, man. Come on. Because I'm being real with you. As long as we've done this show, and then even with our hiatus, and then coming back to things, like looking at things and just being able to talk to you and talk to the audience and shit, and just get people's mind frame on everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, man. Like we're all fucked up. And if we could just admit that first, that we all fucked up, maybe we can start cleaning up the fuck up.
You know what? I really feel like that's the biggest issue. Accountability and finger pointing. I'm guilty of it. I won't lie. I'm guilty of it. I be all the
Hmm.
motherfucking time. I do. But I think
Hmm.
that's something that we have to get past is that accountability, because otherwise this, well, then again, I don't want us to lose that aspect because we won't have a show anymore. But the back and forth between women and men is always a men blaming women and women blaming men. And if we just really just accept, I fuss with you about this all the time. Nigga, listen to me to comprehend. Don't listen to me just so you can argue my point.
Right.
A lot of that goes on. A
Hmm.
lot of that goes on.
On both sides. Right. Right. I think if we, I think you said this before. We say this all the time, right? It's about the communication in it, right? We need to communicate more. We go through that all the time, right? But when we talking about just us in general, on I think a lot of this too I think a lot of this is society, media driven, and all that
Most
shit.
definitely.
Because we are the poor folks, so they have to keep us separated so we can keep working for them. But that's something different to go into. But I think if we can just take a step back from finding fault. And a lot of us, the biggest problem that we have is a lot of us motherfuckers will have a relationship and we end up single again and we judge everything based off of what happened with that 6 months to 10 years I spent with this one person who drugged me through what I believe is an absolute hell. And so anybody else that gets close to me, I said this yesterday on my podcast. I told that to Johnny Judah. I think anybody else that gets close to, especially men, we start to respond like Mike Tyson did. Like Jamie Foxx told you how Mike, they was at a party and shit. Mike had just got out of jail, and this girl came up and said something to Jamie Foxx, and Mike Tyson just trips out. What are you doing? You're gonna call rape on me. You need to get the fuck away from me. He's going crazy,
Mm-mm.
right? And this is the same fucking trauma most men don't want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same exact goddamn trauma most men don't want to talk about. And you know another thing? A man will be with a woman and she'll be his high school honey, right? She'll be his high school honey. And his ego will fucking drive him to hating everything about her because he remember it took me 6 times to ask you out because you was fucking around with Steve-O. And I knew I was better than Steve-O, but you was fucking around with Steve-O. And now we together. And I don't feel like you treating me like you would have treated Steve-O.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we got to figure, man, this is like some kind of old mental, this is like mental fucking, like we are fucking shrinking our brains down.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It is fucking asinine. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking ignorant. Because I can't hold you responsible for yesterday. We can learn from yesterday.
Right.
We can learn from yesterday. Yes.
Is there? But there has to be. And I wanted to say this earlier. That's actually what I was getting ready to say. This is vice versa. I know me personally. I'm gonna speak on me. When a man is treating me like I want to be treated, I have absolutely no problem with giving him any and everything that he wants. Matter of fact, I'll go over and beyond. And I personally feel like it's the same thing for particular men. If their woman is giving them what they want and need, they are willing to go above and beyond for them. You know,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
Robo, we will get it. We don't mind getting a phone, but we need y'all to send us a couple of donations to the station and stuff.
Yeah,
So
and if you notice, Kitty and I never ever ask you guys for nobody for any cash apps, no nothing. So everything that
we
you
paying
see
for this
that's
all out our
going
pocket.
on, that's exactly right. And everything that you see that's going on for real, y'all, I I don't want. I'm not gonna get into the behind the scenes of everything, but this lady that y'all see on this podcast with me, God damn it, she done held it down for all of us. That's all I'm gonna say.
I love my people. He said, bruh, we gotta get the fellas right before we go to telling women what to do. It's some dudes out here that ain't on their shit.
That's I'm saying that. I agree with you on that.
These are
But I'm
old
saying,
comments now. These are old comments. You were just
okay,
talking.
yeah,
Um,
I
I'm not
agree with
sure
that.
what you said, but Johnny Judah said, so wait, 4-5. You're speaking from personal preferences. Well, you're being narrow minded.
Okay.
D Star likes you today. You know D Star don't fuck with you like D Star said, teach him. I'm a fan of his today. Speak on, sir.
So I think that I think what Rolo said is right. I think
Yeah.
us as men, we need to address our own shit.
And
We
I
do.
and I will vouch for the women. We need to address all because ladies, it ain't always the men. And from our shows, my mind has been structured to realize and acknowledge a lot of that time, a lot of that shit. It don't always be the niggas. It don't
Right.
always be them.
Right. And we do need to address it. But hey, like Kanye said, this is DEFCON motherfucking 10, bitch. We are too far beyond. So
I got a
addressing,
question. Go
okay,
ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying addressing our issues. I think we all need, it's gonna have to be like a huge ass kumbaya. Look, hey
Do you
shit. Hey,
think it would be more effective if we fucking if we held each other accountable within our own genders? Don't you? I feel like it would be more effective if we held each other accountable amongst our own genders. So a lot of times, some of these women that are preaching to y'all, it ain't because they pick me on as ladies. It's
mm-hmm.
because they, like I have, sit down with a man and listen to his perspective.
Yeah.
So
And we got to stop the names and shit too, because that pick me shit, I understand it. How you'll have a woman who's through from her mouth, she's giving you everything that she needs, but in her mind, she about to go be that same old hooker that she always been. Okay, this happens. This
right.
happens, but I think that you know I think that a lot of this, because we, Kitty, a couple times before we did bring up, a lot of this shit is trauma, right? A lot of it is
Right.
trauma, but the only way, like, I was watching this shit, John Stewart, he's been interviewing some people lately, and what he said was real when he was speaking to this other cat, and he said this was real. The only way you are going to heal a wound is to open it up and get that bullshit up out of it first. It's got to hit the air. Everything's
I
got to
think a
hit the
lot of
air.
us like being infected. I do. And I'm finna be really transparent right now. Y'all know I'm in therapy again. I'm well on a consistent basis. I was half-ass doing it at first. I'm on a consistent basis. And in therapy, I'm finding out, even though my therapist is giving me tools and options and different things to deal with my anger, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I still want to just be mad. And I'm admitting it. I feel like I'm gonna be one of the first women to admit that, because there's a lot of y'all out there that's like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
easier to be pissed off. It's easier to be hurt, destroyed, all that nasty negative shit than it is to actually heal. Because just like 4-5 is talking about, bitch, you gotta peel the scab off and get to the infection.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes infection be hurting like a motherfucker.
Hey,
But
hey.
to get it out, you got to go through the proper protocol to get that shit out.
And
Admitting that to
mm-hmm.
myself, I have
Mm-hmm.
started to really, really work hard on trying to heal now. Because I had to admit that to myself. You know what? I just like being mad.
Mm-hmm.
I like being sad. I like being
Mm-hmm.
depressed. I'm content. Oh my goodness, Kiddy, bitch. You're the bitch that you be talking to.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times that's what it is. Everything that we project in this, we talking to ourselves. A lot of times that's what the fuck it is. So yeah, when the fuck you hear 4-5 on here talking about some shit, I'm probably talking about myself. But I don't have a problem putting that shit out there though. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know everybody goes through this shit. I know everybody
Accountability
goes
is
through this shit.
admitting that yo, I'm fucked up. We say that word, and a lot of times we don't even think about what it actually means, the definition. Accountability.
Right. Right.
That means good or bad. We cool with taking the good accountability. Yeah, I did
Mm-hmm.
that, right, my nigga. I did that. But when it comes down to I fucked that up, my nigga, it's kind of hard. It's like vinegar coming
Mm-hmm.
from your throat.
Right.
Robert said, Rolo, that Robert fucks with me every time. Rolo, he said, cheating would end if your peers held you accountable and call you out on your bullshit. That's what I was saying. We, us same-sex peers, we got to call each other out. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we sit back and don't say nothing, and that basically puts us in the generalization of how men are thinking about all of us, because we sit back and be quiet about it.
Man, you know what? That's got to be some of the realest shit ever. I hope Johnny is still on here, because Johnny will tell you on how many occasions he has shut me up on our rides in the cars and all kind of shit. On, hey man, hey, you're not examining yourself in this.
Right.
You're not looking at yourself in this. We all need that. Whether it's a mentor that's a few years older than you, elder, you know what I'm saying? Even sometimes, you know what? Even sometimes the youngins, just
Oh,
watching them
Lord.
will put you in your mind frame of, damn, this is where I was wrong. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And just be honest with you, on both men and women's side. I'm talking about it from the manosphere. It for men, I don't give a fuck what none of them say. But once we got it in our head, oh nigga, this is the way I am. This is the way it is. This is the way it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Could be the most filthiest motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Can be the most filthiest motherfucker, but in his mind, just like you said, Kitty, motherfucker, you've been dwelling in this shit so long that you think that this is indeed the way to be.
Right.
And your partners are doing you a disservice if you are
Right.
fucking talking to them about shit like, because you can't make me believe that none of y'all is out there. Y'all got partners, and that's all y'all do is go kick it all the time. Y'all don't talk about the relationships that you in or what you've been doing and all that other shit. Come on, fellas. Let's get real. We talk just as much as they do, and vice
Judah
versa.
Judah said, I compromise my expectations based on the fact that I am indeed fucked up.
That's real shit coming from Johnny. That's so much real shit that 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 he just said had been that's what changed me around a lot
Mhm.
when it comes
Yeah.
to, you know what I'm saying, relationships and shit like that. Because you ask Johnny, man, I was hurt like a motherfucker. How could this
You
bitch?
still are. You still are.
Yeah, in some ways, because the main thing that really eats at me is, you know, my kids and shit. But you know about that, so um yeah, I ain't gonna get into it, but
Rip said,
yeah, in some ways
understanding our flaws is key.
that is true.
Rolo said a real friend will pull your coattail. And you know what? That's what I was telling somebody else. You not no real friend if you can't call your friend out. If I can't call you out, then our friendship is not real. Our friend, I don't give a fuck, get mad at me, cuss me out, all that shit. If I can't call you out, I'm not really your friend. And if
Right.
you can't
And it,
call me out, we really ain't no friends. Cause
right.
I feel like any relationship, whether it's friendship or kinship or relationship, I feel like, goddamn me, we're supposed to be what you say all the time, iron sharpens iron.
Right. Right.
I want you to be at your best. Who the fuck want to? Why? You know what? Most narcissists hang around people who they know are not on their level.
Damn. Say that. Say that. You should have dropped a bomb there. God damn it. That's some real shit.
Well, you know,
Most.
I ain't on the computer. I'm on the
Ah,
phone
shit.
now.
That's right.
The
That's right.
light situation I fucked up. Like the fire reignited. I have no idea how, but the house is still burning down there.
Yeah.
So they cut. It's a line up there that the fire was reaching towards. They had to cut all the electricity out. So
Yeah. So it's gonna be a
this is
minute
what
before
we
they fix
dealing
that.
with right now. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm
Now you
sorry.
still good. You still good. You still good. But no, you right on that. And I think too that God damn, this is a good ass topic today, boy.
It is. It
And we
is. Even though
I,
I fussed about it being last minute and shit, it is a
yeah,
good topic.
it's a good topic.
But there
But
was also something that you said you wanted to know, like, what is we getting married for? And I went to looking for some stuff. I didn't get to do a deep dive, but people really don't. People aren't really wanting to get married right now.
right.
Women and men alike. Nobody
Men and
really
women alike.
is fucking with marriage.
Right. So the better question is, why do you want that man or why do you want that woman?
So we
Because
not
like
lonely. So that you're not feeling lonely. I know that's the answer for me. And I know that there are other women out there like me, so I'm gonna be transparent. I don't like being alone.
hmm,
Sometimes
hmm,
I'll tolerate some bullshit. Well, like Betty Wright said, to have a piece of man is it's cool to have a piece of man than no man at all. Sometimes I feel like that. Sometimes women do settle for the bus driver that we were talking about earlier because knowing that she could get more than that. But she hold that down because that's the best I can do right now. A lot of times, some of y'all men, I've seen some of y'all men settle. A lot of y'all actually, but we're not
I
gonna
don't
go there.
think. Yeah, I think. Yeah, shit. I think a lot of there is a lot of settling, right? But is it wrong to settle? Is that such a bad
That's
thing?
a good question. I feel like if I have standards for myself, then yes, it's wrong to settle. And that couldn't, and then that's not I'm not trying to make that wrong or right. That's just my feeling.
Now, but as far as when we talking about standards and morality and shit, there's certain things that you just we're not going below this, right? As
Mm-hmm.
far as morality and shit like that, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things that individually, there's just certain things that certain individuals are going to accept or not accept, right?
Mm. These
But
these these comments. Let me read the comments, bro, because they are going so fucking fast. They're filling up, and I don't want to get D Star says shouldn't want to if it's for the wrong reason. You're absolutely right, but a lot of times we do. Rolla said I am ready to get married again. The best times of my life were when I was married. Well, see, the thing is you not only with your situation, Rolla, your situation is so different
yeah,
because your spouse that was by the hand of God.
right.
Till death do us part. Y'all actually played that out. You know what I'm saying? So you've already experienced a beautiful marriage, and I'm gonna be real with you. The pickings is slim out here. Good luck, my brother. Rip said I should have married. I'm telling Shanika. He said I
Uh,
should have married up to a rich bitch. I hate him.
Kid, this is a safe space.
Boy, I wish I could have put that bomb in. Gifted said we all will make some sort of settlement, and that is so true.
And
That is
we
so true.
should.
I have gone with men who I know for a fact wasn't like I felt like they weren't attractive enough to be on my arm, but because that man treated me right, he was doing all the other stuff. It was just the physical appearance that I was just like, yeah.
Let me
Rolo
ask you
said it's
this.
wrong to. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead, baby. Go ahead.
When you say that, right? Does that make you did let me ask this. This is just for you, okay? When you was with this gentleman who you were he wasn't quite the mold that you wanted, right? Was there because he treated you good, did you feel like let me do you
He
feel like
treated
you
he
were given?
treated me so good to where I started looking at him like, damn boy, you fine.
Okay. And so in that I would have to say you was giving him your 100% as well,
Most
or
definitely. Yes.
okay.
That's
Cuz I
what I
feel
was
like
saying
sometimes
earlier. When you
Mhm.
find somebody that treats you good, you don't like when you treat a woman so good, when you treat a man real good, they gonna reciprocate some, unless you're just a fucked up ass individual and you really ain't in it to win it, you're gonna reciprocate that energy.
Mhm. That's fucking true, man.
Rolo
That's
said
fucking
it's
true.
wrong to settle because it is truly what you want, and eventually, because it isn't truly what you want, maybe, and eventually you will get frustrated and leave.
I don't think that's always the case. Sometimes when you plant a seed, that motherfucker don't that bitch don't come straight up out the ground. Sometimes it goes sideways, right? But eventually it gets up out of the ground. And I'm saying that is because that's how a relationship is. You might think you got the perfect mother, and I don't give a shit. She may be the baddest. She got all of everything that you think you want out of a woman. You get with her, and I'm gonna always say this. Tell me about it at year 5. Tell me about it at year. This is the real number. Tell me about it at year 7 when you start thinking, shit, we almost 10 years deep in it. Tell me about that thing. Because this uh uh the Outcast used to sing this song and they would say fat ass and titties turn to flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all those things that attracted to you physically and everything, that's gonna end. That's why Ali, I'm real big on what Ali said. Yeah, you need to have me mentally stimulated, baby. And you
Right,
need to be able to step with me every step of the way. If not, you need to be able to stop me and ask questions, and they need to be some good ones.
right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? And
Uh,
for me, That's difficult sometimes, but shit. I believe that when we say, because see, we put too many goddamn bad negative vibes on just terminology. We got negative vibes on submission. We got negative vibes on settling, obviously, because I
Yeah.
don't understand. Look, if I get everything that I want in, if the Great Spirit bless me and I get everything that I want in a woman, right? I get everything that I want in a woman. Like, I have to settle at that point,
Mm,
right? I have to settle with her so we can come together and now we can elevate, right?
right.
We can elevate. But that don't always mean it's gonna work out like that. We don't know which way the relationship's gonna go. You can put in, believe me, I'm gonna tell you, you can put in 100,000% and say and believe that you done put forth maximum effort. And that
Right.
motherfucker that you with is like you put in a lot of effort in that direction, but I've been over here the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing
We
you know,
got a lot. Hold on, let me get
okay,
the comments is just filling up too fast for me. Rolo said, "Rich ain't just money though. Define rich, Rip." D Star said, "That's right, 45. This is a safe space." Dean talking about every man ain't handsome as Dean manuscript. Boy, bye. Um, Rolo, this the one I wanted to really get to. He said, "Women that I have dogged have turned down good guys that weren't attractive to mess with me so I can dog them and they end up empty handed. Bird in the hand is
is
worth
worth
two
two
in
in
the
the
bush."
bush. Yeah, yeah.
So you think so basically you said you be in the hand of the good old spirit and you handing out karma. Boy, now Johnny said, "I'm not marrying again. I think I could because I know how to conform for my benefit, but I've said this before. If this don't work out, I'm hoeing my way out. I don't see, look,
Yeah, I'm yes. I tell y'all this all the time. I was once married, and just like in the NBA, I was a rookie. I became a veteran, and now I am retired.
mm.
Now
Rip
that is,
said, depending on time and circumstances, how we settle. I
hmm.
don't know. Maybe I think this was the conversation they're having in the comment section. He said
Oh
something
yeah,
about the
yeah,
13th floor. Rip said exactly, Johnny. This one and done with me. Um,
this nigga
see,
Rip,
that's why I want
Rip.
to stay on top of these comments because it's bloop bloop.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Settle isn't the right word in my opinion. It's highly unlikely you'll get 100% of what you want, and anything less shouldn't be considered settling.
80
That
20, right?
this, huh? Go ahead.
It's that 80-20, right? That 80-20 rule, right? You're not gonna get 100%, baby. You not. You not. See, I like cute feet. And lately I've been running into some bad ones, and they be so good, will cook, clean, all this shit, and then they take the shoes off, and it fucks up everything for me.
You are some Eddie Murphy boomerang bullshit.
No, Eddie Murphy got it from me, baby. He got it from me.
Johnny Judah said, "Rich is a mindset." That's
That
interesting,
is
bro.
that is very
I
that is
kind of
very
sort of
true.
need you to be on this screen with me so you can explain that. Um, Rip said, "So Johnny, I should only be looking for 65% chicks since I'm 47 years old and in
Mm-mm.
fair health." I'm gonna be real with you, Rip. You know what I'm
Rip ain't
saying?
Rip
That's
shouldn't be looking
that's
for
kind
shit.
of like me over here. I know what I want. I know what my standards are. And I have a preference in all that shit. But not saying that, and this ain't saying that women with kids or none of that shit. The man I want is a millionaire. My chances of getting a millionaire are slim to none. One, because of my weight, I may not be eye candy. He don't want me on his arm. Two, I got a child. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of go hand in hand with what you saying. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty hard. And I was gonna say that earlier when we were talking about Ayanla. trying to criticize this woman for saying that she not gonna date no bus driver unless that nigga on the bus. I'm with her with that. When you're at a particular standard, and I can't even get mad at a millionaire for not wanting me. When you're at a particular standard, goddamn it, you can make that call. You can make that call. So yeah, at 47 years old and in fair health, you probably not gonna pull. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I'm just saying that it's slim to none. It's slim to none. Ain't nothing wrong with hoeing. I'm with you with that on that one, D-Star. Hey, Yvette. She said, depends on how good the meat is. Listen, Vet. Don't come on here with that petty shit. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Petty Game podcast on tomorrow night.
Are you sure it's just about the meat?
Sometimes you gotta know how to pound town. My pussy pink, my booty hole brown. You gotta know how to go to pound town.
God,
it would be so awesome if I had, and now the lights back on, but I don't even feel like going back to the computer. But yeah, Johnny Judah said, laughing my ass out. Yep, you better believe it. Rolo said, I said that before, Johnny, but death so early changed me. He said, 4-5, I just posted about feet today. Check his page. Jack Ford, thank you. I think this is your first timer. He said, I've been married 3 times. I'm the common denominator, so I'm good on it. I'll just be me. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, hold on. Go back to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this for you. I applaud you, Mr. Forte. I applaud you for recognizing that you are the common denominator. Because that's a hard fucking thing to recognize in yourself. That is a very, very hard thing to recognize. But once you do recognize it, and you know your comfortability level for certain things, you start to love yourself. And I think that's what he's talking about there. Because see, being married 3 times or just being married once, especially like if you got married early on, you really never really figured yourself out. It takes time to figure yourself out sometimes.
I got a question, man. I got a question to the men that have been married. What was it about that woman that made you want to put a ring on her finger? Y'all can answer in the comments too.
She was there. And I mean, like, she was just there with me in more ways than one. You know what I mean? Like, I remember we could just sit in my ride and just have the fucking sunroof open. We'd be looking at the same section of stars, and I'd be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Or I could be talking and she would come out of her mouth and be saying some of the same shit I'm thinking about. It's like, damn, is this real? You know what I mean? Like, it was always like that. It was just always surreal like that. And we could still do that even when we was arguing. Even when we was arguing.
What? And this ain't no wrong or right. What do you think went wrong? How did she go from being your person to, I don't know about this?
I just told you. I didn't love myself.
Okay.
I didn't love myself. If I had loved myself, then there's no telling where everything would be right now. I didn't know how to love myself. All I ever knew was I got to get up, work, make sure this is working. Okay, bitch ain't happy today, maybe tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
And I never took time for myself.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, just long story short, I just never took time for myself to like examine who I was, because I did a lot of things early. I had a house, 3 cars, family, everything, 23 years old, you know what I'm saying? Did it for 10 years, you know what I'm saying? Look, almost 11, you know what I'm saying? But Yeah, I found out like after I got a divorce, and once you spend that kind of time with somebody, you start learning things after you done split up. You know what I'm saying? And you just once you get past the bitch, you did this, bitch, you did that. You get through all that and all the other things that come with divorce. Like the one thing that I can tell you, I had an apartment and Johnny know, my brother know too. I had an apartment, had this big ass goddamn mirror in the living room. I don't know why they put that shit in there, but you know what I had to do every day when I got that apartment?
You had to look at yourself.
I had to look at myself.
Mm-hmm.
I had to look at myself, and there was many a days I looked in that mirror, and I did not like what I saw looking back at me. And many a days I looked in that mirror, and I shedded many a motherfucking tears. But I came up out that shit, recognizing a lot about myself, recognizing a lot of the things that I said I don't like this about myself. I really did like it. You can say ain't gonna never change. It's gonna be me. And you got to learn to love yourself through your scars. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn to love yourself, and you got to learn to love those who have been around you that may have traumatized you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing, you got to learn to say, I apologize for who I was.
Do y'all know how much those 3 little words can change every fucking thing? If you authentically mean it, it can change everything. It'll make a motherfucker be like, you know what, I fucked up too. I'm sorry. Rolo said I felt my life wouldn't be the same or good if I let her get away. It was easy. It was what God wanted for me. She was heaven sent. My wife was my angel and still is. Johnny talking about that ass. Johnny, my sister got so much other shit going for herself than just that ass. Most definitely. You winning. You winning, nigga.
John, no,
Rip.
no, 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 no. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's rewind something. I'm gonna tell you something because you're looking at the person that put Johnny and Chris together. What that man is telling you, one thing that you're gonna know, but if you don't know shit about Johnny Judah, the nigga can spin the shit out of some motherfucking records and set up anything goddamn electronic. But one thing that nigga ain't gonna do, he ain't gonna lie on that woman. And
Okay,
what
he
brought
came back.
yeah.
Cause I'm finna go, hey, don't do my sister. He said, nah,
No, he
seriously,
started
she look good.
he
She
can't
can
fool me
sing
though.
and is
You can't
smart,
fool me, Johnny.
and
I was
she
there,
had
boy.
them mama traits.
I was hey,
Rolo
hey,
said, I'm
she
sick
had
of
that boy.
her.
Hold on, Kitty. Hold on. I gotta get this out. I gotta get this out. She had that boy singing in the goddamn work choir.
Nah, man.
she, she,
Nah, Johnny Judah, say it ain't so. She had him whipped.
she had him. That boy said, "Man, I'm gonna get in the choir." I said, "What?
And it can't sing a
What are you
note.
talking about, man?"
Robert Rolo said, death made me realize, relook and analyze everything. My wife was my soulmate. And they say you only get one. Rip said, my wife was my best friend. I done told y'all ladies, these men are saying exactly what I be telling y'all bitches, and y'all be looking at me like I'm crazy. He said, my wife was my best friend. I wanted to share everything with her.
Everything with her. Mhm. Yeah.
He said
This is
that's
what they
he's agreeing with you.
this is what this is they letting out some things, you know what I'm saying? I have too, that I think all women need to really hear. Cause these are things, this is shit that's real, man. These are the things that men really see in women that they involve themselves with. It's not but no, don't get me wrong, because we're all visual creatures and shit, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong on that, but I'm telling you,
Hey, Chrissy.
those things that kind of magnetize us, you know what I'm saying, pull us together and shit. Like these gentlemen are telling you the real deal shit. They looked at their woman and they said, "Shit, this is where it's at, man. This is where it's gonna
My
be."
advice to the men is try looking beyond hey, she just fine. Try looking beyond that and try seeing if that woman is capable of being your best friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Try and ladies, by all means necessary. These niggas giving y'all the blueprint. Those of you that say you can't find no man, they giving you the blueprint. This cause the first thing to finding somebody good to you is exactly what we've been saying this whole show. Bitch, check yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of
Hey,
us are not checking ourselves.
you're right. And to rewind back to what you said uh, of accountability, right? We need to separate ourselves and hold our sides accountable for our sides before we come together and start holding everybody accountable for the bullshit we've been doing, right? Women need to start addressing women. Men need to start addressing
Start
men.
addressing men.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell
because
you.
and you know what? Initially, and that's my thing. I've never disagreed with Samuels. I never disagreed with anything that man was saying. It was his delivery. And you know
Right,
what I'm saying? As and women as a whole, it was the whole hurrah. Who the fuck do he think he is? That shit came off harsh coming from a man.
right.
But if
That's
you
all it
go back
was.
and you see when he was checking other men, those men were listening to him. Some of them was.
Let me tell you something quiet as kept. My older brother turned me on to Kevin Samuels way before he started talking about women. That man spent at least like a year and a half, 2 years talking straight to men directly. Men was calling in just like women started calling in on the show. He was talking straight to men and telling men, you not holding up your standards. You ain't even got no value to you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's where all that
He
shit started
told
coming
one
from.
dude, nigga, your dick little. That's the problem. Oh my God. Kevin Samuels was a fool with it. Chrissy Boy said, I believe I found that now. My man is my best friend. And I had to look at things I had to work on because our communication is so great. He communicated what he needed from me, and vice versa.
And she got a fat booty. So
Yeah, ladies, booties are the plus. So don't
that's
nobody need to talk shit else to me about my surgery. I'm gonna get me a big booty. I think my husband will come once I get my big booty.
and titties. Don't forget titties.
I don't need no titties.
Yeah, everyone.
Oh,
Listen.
you talking to these bitches? Okay.
Yeah, because there's tits, there's titties, there's breast assists. I'm just fucking with you. I'm
I'm
just
so
fucking with
sick of this nigga. Anyway, y'all, we finna get the fuck up out of here. 4-5, give them the rundown
you. Oh
about
damn.
microwave dreams.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have just now started. I told y'all, 45 a Microwave Dreams podcast. It has come. We just started. It was my first one.
Tell,
Some things didn't get
tell
worked
them
out,
where
but
they can find. Tell them where they can find the episode you just recorded so they can go back and watch that. You can still get views on it.
I think it's on Wix Studios.
Nigga, you ain't got your own pay. We got to work on that. Don't worry about it.
I
Come on with
told
it.
you I got to work out some bugs.
Come on with it. We gonna get
I
on
got to
that
work out
together
some bugs,
today.
but
Cause
it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. I already did my first one, and it's going to start making its rounds. Y'all gonna start seeing it. You're gonna start seeing all the clips. All that. Actually, I did two of them. Just one was live. So get ready. Get ready. I'm giving you what I got. That's all I can do is just give you what I got because I love giving you what I got. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And real quick, shout out because I had Johnny on. I had to say thank you to him. I did say thank you to my brother, but he ain't been on yet. Since I am on with my little sister, I
Well,
want to
Christy,
say
you ain't gotta miss us no more. We here every Wednesday at noon o'clock, like the old times, not just that.
yeah, it's straight clockwork.
Manuscript in the morning. We're back. We're back on schedule with manuscript in the morning. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to all our channels. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so you get that ding soon as we go live. Um,
Let me finish. I need to say this.
go ahead.
I need to say to you, Kitty, thank you for putting a foot in my ass.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, and shout
I
out to the
see.
Blackbirds. Shout out to Big Rip, Tricoastal Radio. Shout out to everybody that's been on my ass, helping me along the way. Man, I love y'all. Chrissy, you know what it is because I think we need to holler. I think my brother is gonna holler at you about Garvey Day. You know all
Judge,
that.
I knew that was Judge.
Um, my brother, I wouldn't trade him in for the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? Johnny Judah, my brother, wouldn't trade him in for the world. Max Reno, my brother, I wouldn't trade him in for the
Mhm.
world. Everybody, I love y'all.
I
This
love our little
is war.
dysfunctional ass family.
Yeah, for sure. And this is War of the Roses, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to give it to you raw.
Raw
No
dog.
contraception.
With no Vaseline. We finna get up out of here. We love y'all. We want you to love yourself. Y'all make sure y'all join us right here next Wednesday. Same place, same time. It's your auntie Kiddy and your boy 45 nigga. We out.